אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם בלילה, נגה יומם בלילה. באהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than his holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim amo Yisrael.
I invite us all to take a deep breath in, exhale out, another deep cleansing breath in as you breathe in that sense of shalom, of connection, and exhale out mishagah, stuff we don't need right now.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
We continue with Ve'ahavta, led by our bar mitzvah of tomorrow morning, Mr. Timothy Friend.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך מכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם לארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele, nora tehilot osei fele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele, nora tehilot osei fele. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים לחיים. ופרוס ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, לחיים. May you shelter us with peace until the morning comes. May you lay us down with love, and may you raise us up. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim, lechaim.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu V'Yakol Amo Yisrael Yerushalayim.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam brit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam brit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam brit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat.
We continue now with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah. I invite you, if you're able to please rise. Facing this way. Let's turn our backs on these people.
Adonai sefatay tiftachu fiya ki techilateha. Adonai, open up my lips, let my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'chanei Hakol, V'socher Astei Avot, V'imechot, Uvivi Givula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hoser U'Mashiach U'Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Yagin Abraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Atagi bor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol harav levoshia, Mahashiv haruach umarid hagashem, Mechahel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei holim, Umatir asurim, Umechaye emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha baal givurot, Umidom elach, Melech memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'na'eman ata lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye ha'akol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
Is this my part? I got a couple. All right. Yeah. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shakas Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
You are with us in our prayers, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and pain clouds the mind. We look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to each other and to all Israel and to all who seek you. May find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'etkot levot ha biyara nahavot.
When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh l'chadot.
This is actually a new version of this prayer. I know we all love our Jeff Klepper. I do too. But I was ready for a little bit of a change, and I really like this melody. It's very sweet and simple, and I think it's easy to catch on to. So I hope that you'll join with me when you feel comfortable.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Ki atah hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atah hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav tasim leolam.
I did. I think we have a good portion this week, don't you, Tim? Absolutely. You know, you should know, Tim, I don't know if I told you this, but when I was interviewing for rabbinic school, one of the questions they asked me, I probably remember two questions. This is one of them I remember. What is your favorite story in the Torah and why? And believe it or not, this was the portion. And I talked about the idea that Jacob has this really interesting experience. He struggles with an ish. Ish in Hebrew, when we translate it, means man, but the rabbis in their commentary imply this is no man. There's something going on. Is it subconscious? Is it God? Is it his brother? Is it something within him that he struggles with? But either way, Jacob struggles and emerges as Israel. And Yisrael, Israel, means one who wrestles, one who struggles with God. So let me ask you a question. This is your question, and anyone can answer it. What should we really be struggling with? What should we be wrestling with right now? What is it that you're wrestling with right now? What are you struggling with? I know. I was afraid of that. I know. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. What do you think? What do you think? Society right now, people as a whole. And you're noticing this in a lot of places, aren't you? This lack of respect, right? All over the world, right? Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well, I don't like that we're doing that, but that's a good example. Say it again. How to keep hope in these times. I really think that's a very appropriate struggle for a lot of us right now, right? Philip. The environmental problems that we seem to ignore. Yeah, I struggle with that a lot. It's hard not to when you live in a place that the weather changes dramatically in a couple of decades, right?
Anticipating what things are going to look like, what's going to happen in the few months, and what's going to happen over the next number of years, and how that's going to change not just our country, but the whole world. And then also, I was just right before services started reading a article about the massive anti-Semitism that seems to have exploded in Canada, nice Canada, and it's kind of astounding. So you figure if things are bad in Canada, what hope is there? Something to struggle with.
Yeah, no, I think those are good examples, and you're right. I think the level of anti-Semitism is something to struggle with, and we're seeing those numbers in a lot of countries, not just Canada, obviously. We have a member of the congregation that was born in France, and we were meeting with her cantor night with her son, who's starting his process of becoming bar mitzvah earlier. What? I don't understand. I know. Okay, I forgot what I was saying. Go for it.
I guess my brother.
What?
My brother.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
The Israel war.
Yeah, that's a big struggle, isn't it, honey? Yeah, that is. Jake. I appreciate that, Jake. That takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to say what you just said. As Jake, if you didn't hear him, he's struggling with the death of his amazing wife, Pauline. Actually, we just dedicated, I think that was yesterday, Jake. Was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Was it? It's hard to tell what day is what. But we dedicated in our preschool, his daughter made a donation in honor of her mommy and daddy. And so the kids have a mud kitchen now outside. It was pretty funny, really cute. Perfect with rain, actually, to be honest. But I think it's wonderful that they did that, your daughter. I think that's an important thing for us, right? I think it's natural for all of us, because once we grieve, we're lifetime grievers, aren't we? We are. So I think we always actually need to struggle with that at times, with our losses. Absolutely. Andrea.
The amount of virtual violence that our children are exposed to.
Yeah, things are really violent. They really are. I agree. Yeah, and I think there's actually, at some point, you get so sensitized to it that you don't realize, like, this is not normal. Yeah. We've done that for years, though. I've always contended that it's interesting, 8 o'clock at night, you can see violence, but not a tushy. No tushies are allowed. no cuss words, but you can see violence. I just think that's so backward in our society. A tushy, we all got one. We say words, whether they're just words. But when it comes to violence, that's something that's oh, sure, we should be able to watch that. Yeah, I agree with you. It's unbelievable. It really is. We actually were reflecting on cartoons when we were kids and how they were so violent, Looney Tunes. I mean, just ridiculously violent. So we kind of set this up as a society, right? Yeah. Please. Struggle where you put your attention. Say more about that. Goes to that hope thing, too, that Nance just brought up. Yeah, I think actually I would watch how much, I would limit. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't watch news. I won't do it. I won't watch news, right? Cable especially, and PBS isn't, I don't feel safe with PBS since the war broke out in Israel. I don't feel as comfortable listening to a lot of the rhetoric coming from there. So I think it's important. Actually, we've talked to you and I a lot about choices of other things one could be looking at. And I think it's important. I do like Haaretz personally about Israel, but you're going to get all kinds of stuff. I think there are some papers that still actually write articles. And I think what's nice about that is that you approach it when you're ready to sit and to read something, right? But I think like watching a minute something or 30-second something doesn't do anything for us. I think it actually creates more anxiety. So I think, right. Caught where? Yeah. Oh, and I think that's the balancing. Yeah, I have this sense we're going to know what's going on without having to watch cable. Just saying. There's other ways, yeah.
I struggle with continuing to stay positive and not get bogged down by all of these issues and affect my psychic, and at the same time then to choose to do the small things that I can make a difference rather than trying to change the world, just little tiny steps that I can do.
I think you answered it beautifully. I think that is the secret, right?
Echoing the same thing that several people have been circling around this subject was, where is it that I can put my voice that it will help and make a difference? And what, it's Katie said, how much time can we devote to that? But what are the places where we can make a difference? There are so many things, just whack-a-mole out there, so much going on. Where can we raise our voices and help?
It's a great one also. And I assure you, we will give you many suggestions during the year, especially Tikkun Olam, right? Because I think, for example, one thing that we started back, right, is having our kids on Sunday make the sandwiches again. Judy Levy made that happen out of Tikkun Olam. We used to do this all of the classes would do it every Sunday. We'd have one class doing that, and we brought that back. Because I think you're right. I think we need action items. We need to push the world in a positive place with our energy by doing good things. I also want to just say this. As freaked out as any of us may be, we don't know anything yet. So take a breath. And I have always with me chill pills. You're more than welcome to take any of them you want, as many as you want. They're always with me. But I think we have to know what we're dealing with, and we don't know completely. And I think that's part of maybe the concern, right? But until proven otherwise, we have each other. That's, to me, incredibly helpful. We have a future. We have a future that I am incredibly excited for, because I think no one person can ruin anything. I don't believe it for a second. I think it's on all of us, actually. So I think we could do this, whatever it is, right? I really appreciate, though, a lot of what we were talking about in terms of what we're struggling with right now. And I would only suggest that on Shabbos, breathe into it. We're going to take a moment now of silent meditation, silent reflection. Breathe into that, then let it go and have Shabbos. Because don't worry, I'll be back with you Sunday morning, right? But let's give ourselves some Shabbos. I think the other piece that's really important that I find that we should never underestimate, and that's joy in our lives. So what brings you joy? And bring that to your heart and get into that. If it's playing music, if you've never played guitar before and you want to learn, do it. Why not? Doesn't matter how old we are, we could try something new. Right, Brandon? appreciate that. With that, we'll continue. So let's take a deep breath in. And let's just sit a little bit with not just the struggle, but how blessed we are to be together. To know that we have people that have our backs. We're not alone, any of us.
יהיו לרצון אמרי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי.
Now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Seth Ammerman, Pam Axelrod, Ira Berkowitz, Mort Berlant, Don Barnett, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Carol Brindell, Bill Brown, Francie Brown, Shelley Carter, John Castro, Donna Cherkasky, Bonnie Coleman, Ellen Dover, Doris Davis, Toby Ellman, Judith Gange, Juan Garcia, Marcia Garcia, Erica Gardner, Jerry Gassman, Marcia Gieser, Olivia Hand, Avram Harris, Lewis Harris, Rob Haas, Annalise Henry, Linda Hoffman, Jim Hubert, Edna Hyatt, Sharon Jackson, Rolando Johnson, Steve Ladowitz, Nohad Lahat, Elizabeth Ledwitz, Dan Lee, Carol Lerner, Jackie Levinson, Amanda Lopez, Bobby Lotman, Maureen McIntyre, Cheryl McGatt, Stephen Marceri, Scott Morgan, Barbara Morse, Barry Pinsley, Ann Port, Sherry Prezant, Stephanie Rasmussen, Harriet Saltzman, Laura Sanders, Len Schreibstein, Ray Singh, Margie Stein, Donna Thyman, Kurt Willis Sr., Sue Whitten, Orrin Wood, Megan Young. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. We wish upon all those we mentioned and those who are unnamed, the refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery as we join together in Mishnah Berach.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
It's my great pleasure to invite the president of our congregation, David Hyman.
Shabbat Shalom. This is a special Shabbat in a couple of ways. First, we're celebrating your bar mitzvah, of course. But not only that, we are here to celebrate all of the congregants who went above and beyond in making their membership commitments. Those who have made commitments above sustaining level, and those who have made commitments more than we requested. I personally want to thank all of those people. What we are trying to do here is build a community that we can all be proud of, that we all want to be a part of. When you donate or make commitments that are a little bit of a stretch for you, what you're doing is you're validating all of our efforts. It goes to funding things like the Rock Shabbat, like Circles of Connection, like Shabarbecue. All of these events create community. And I want to thank all of those who recognize the fact that our community is something that we want to keep important and keep relevant. And it takes resources. So thank you very much. Now, if you feel comfortable, those of you who would like to stand and be recognized, I want to call the rabbi and cantor up to bless you. Or not.
Well, yes. I'm going to ask everyone to rise. Because I think we all need that energy right now to feel that sense of blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God always be a source of strength, of wholeness, completeness, and peace in your lives and the lives of those you love, as we all say.
Amen. Can you hear us?
Well done. Thank you.
You may be seated. You thought you were done with me? Not yet. I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't at least mention our annual campaign that we are right in the middle of right now. The campaign runs through the end of this month, so if you need a few more tax deductions before the end of the year, this is a great place to get one. Again, People ask me, well, wait a minute, I just made a commitment above and beyond. Why are you asking for even more money? Well, let me tell you. Our commitments do not allow us to balance our budget yet. If we build a community where a lot of people want to come and partake of that community, we will no longer need annual campaigns, but we need some help getting there. And in order to continue to fund Shabarbecue, continue to fund Rock Shabbat, continue to have circles of connection, we need a little more help. Now, you've seen the thermometer on our website, and we're about $64,000 right now. Well, we've got 2.5 weeks to get that thermometer all the way up to $100,000. Now, I've written some people, and I think we're going to make it, but I want to be sure. So, if any of you have your checkbooks with you, don't write it on Shabbat. But Sunday morning, I would be very proud if you all wrote wonderful checks. And it doesn't matter the amount. What matters is that you all care and want to help us build community. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Brandon, and this is Ray. And on behalf of Board of Trustees, it's our pleasure to welcome you to our Erev Shabbat service led by Rabbi Magat, Cantor Shafritz, and everyone who has participated tonight, which I'm going to go off script a little to thank all of you guys. This is something new we're trying out, and I appreciate everyone working with us. I think it's going pretty well. We said, how do we want to do this? Let's turn the seats sideways. And you said, sure, no problem. So I love the seats sideways. So thank you, everyone, for making that work. After the service tonight, I invite everyone into the Temple House for Kiddush, Hamotzi, and Oneg. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Elizabeth and Nicholas Friend in honor of their son, Timothy, and his bar mitzvah. Judy Sapper in memory of her mother, Mitzi, and Michelle Tidwell in memory of her mother, Melita. Mazel tov again to Elizabeth and Nicholas on the occasion of Tim's bar mitzvah. And also, can I say that's an amazing kippah? I've been staring at it all night.
And who made this kippah?
Kidskipo.com. All right. I'm going to note briefly that we have 3 opportunities for you to bring light to this season, which would be all listed in the Shabbat handout or on our website or in the Shalom table. They are the dinner drive for Second Harvest Food Bank, our annual campaign, as Mr. Hyman just mentioned, and there is also, we are in the last week of the JFS Embrace a Family campaign, all noble. And we hope to see you again in person next Friday for our Rock Shabbat service. That's at 7 p.m. An hour before it at 6 p.m. is an appetizer reception. Shabbat Shalom.
Please rise if you're able.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
It is our minhag, our custom at Temple Emanu-El, when we come to our yahrzeit list, upon hearing the name of your loved one, if you choose to stand as a sign of love and grief, and to remain standing till all the names in our yahrzeit list have been recited, then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we especially think of those that are grieving the Shiva for the following Israelis that died this week. Sergeant Ido Zano, 20 years old. Sergeant Omri Cohen, 19 years old. Sergeant Barak Halpern, 19 years old. Captain Sagi Rubenstein, 31 years old. Sergeant Erez Ben Ephraim, 25 years old. Major Evgeny Znirashan, 42 years old. Sergeant Binyamin Negus, 28 years old. Captain Avraham Ben Pinchas, 24 years old. And a former hostage, Itay Seversky, 38 years old. We also think of the following who are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Debbie Hetler, Rabbi John Stein, Mickey Halloway, Lori Kenyon, as well as we think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first year of mourning for Jeff Andre, Frederick J. Billmeyer, Michael Blevins, Dr. Howard Bloom, Pauline Bronstein, Ray Carter, Mal Kosman, Janice Decker, Vera Doktorovich, Federica Edis, Ruth Fox, Marilyn Fuller, Josefina Garcia, Mayor Goldberg, Vicky Nosanoff Goldman, David Gordon, Janet Groden, Stanley Gross, Barbara Hines, Lee Henderson, Lynn Hendrickson, Kenny Johnson, Mimi Jones, David German, Al Cadis, Bob Kaiser, Joy Kaiser, David Lemon, Sandra Lemon, Harold Makoff, Sherry Mates, Joey McKay, Lorraine Mellon, Andrew Miller, Howard Miller, Margie Milrod, Seth Mitchner, Roz Mishkind, David Moore, Barbara Neiman, Nancy Polliger, Mark Pollock, Sally Ravel, Florence Rigby, Linda Rogers, Susan Russo, Norma Slavit, Lois Starr, Socorro Perez, Marty Stein, Shirley Stein, Betty Stewart, Mickey Stewart, Scott Toddy, Concepcion Sanchez Valente, Harriet Weintraub, Shirley Weisner, Jack Stewart Weisberger, Eleanor Chastain Williams, Stacy Lynn Wolf, Tim Zimmer. We also think of the following yahrzeits we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Cecile Aronson, Brenda Bausch, Jerry Bendent, Murray Bernstein, Esther Bessner, Carrie Broding, Maurice Carl, Adam Cohen, Aaron Cohen, Jose Costa, Cecilia Eisner, Ida Epstein, Cecilia Estrina, Evsie Estrina, Saul Feynman, Frida Forster, Martha Friedman, Nehemiah Galprin, Jenny Wiener Goldberg, Jacob Goldberg, Fanny O. Goldberg, Jerome Wolf Goodhartz, Luis Greenberg, Sadie Greenhut, Gisela Guin, Vera Hirsch, Irving Cass, Lois Kay, Anita Kayak, Joseph Calder, Frank Koss, Jacob Koss, Joseph Land, Haiti Bloom Lewis, Howard Lubarski, Jerry Magadman, Frederick Malter, Albert Milgram, Betty Myers, Reva Perlson, David Purr, Joseph Irving Purr, Harold Rosenberg, Mitzi Sapper, Blanche Schwartz, Yetta Selden, Steve Siegel, Irving Sokolow, Lori Solomon, Samuel Summer, Arlene Taylor, Nathan Taylor, Beverly Telson, Melita Tidwell, Julie Walker, Alyssa Warner, Amanda Weingarten, Eugene Weiss, Marcy Epstein-Wolf, Abel Wolfson, Harry Yaffe, Walter Zimmer. Zichronam livracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we all rise to recite together our Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malachutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol be'Yisrael, b'agalav uzman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'tomam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'ytalal shmei d'kudesha brechu. Le'alam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'elma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo Rabbah mishamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, uyasei shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'akol yishvei tevel v'imru amen. Please be seated.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Good job. Okay. Tim wants to stay here. Wants to keep it this way. Cool. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I think it's more intimate. I think it's nice. Nice idea.
What we want to do for Torah. Are you just going to bring it all the way down?
We'll have the podium here. We're going to do Torah passing up there. We'll do some stuff up there, I think, like Torah passing. We'll do that up
You've
there.
got your arc opener. Nice.
We got arc openers. We'll do that too. That's normal.
It's all your peers pretty much participating, right?
That's what we do anyway. Right? Even if
it's like it's all your classmates pretty much participating.